So, first of all, how you doing?
Doing quite well. Doing good. Got myself a beer. It's time to sit back and enjoy an off week for a bit.
Hell yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I got me a nice cold boosh next to me.
Is it the Bush Latte?
Oh, that's the only way I go.
Got a local brew here, a Blood and Honey American Ale from Revolver Brewing Company.
Nice. So, I guess we got a bunch to talk about. We've got what, three races for each series here.
Yeah,
Well, two
three
and a
three
half.
weeks 3 weeks down into the season before our break this week.
Yeah, Thanksgiving break coming up here. Um, yeah, so Daytona was it was pretty eventful for the BRP series for sure. Um, you know, we uh we only had, I think, one caution for incident
Yeah, right at the end.
right
Other
at
than
the
that,
end.
it was caution free. Other than the what was it, lap 20, I believe, was a stage break on this one.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Let's see, based on our little replay that I've got running in the background here, it is, yeah, it was lap 20.
Yeah,
So,
but there's a lot of jossying around for position on those. Um, there was there was quite a few times where we thought the big one was going to happen, and somehow miraculously people saved it.
oh,
But
oh yeah, I was up in the booth for that one while doing race control, and there's a few times my hand was hovered over that caution button. Like, all right, well, if iRacing's not gonna throw it, I might have to. And next thing I know, you guys got it all gathered up again.
there ain't no you guys. I stayed out of all that. I was the smart one on the back. But then
Okay,
you know,
everybody else except for the guy that decided to hang out half a lap down all day.
I am a firm believer, and you got to make it to the end to have a shot to win it. Now, unfortunately, I definitely anticipated more cautions than what we had, and so kind of that strategy kind of bit me. But yeah, it is what it is. It's Daytona. You never know. It's a crapshoot.
I mean, in some respects, you almost got a better chance of winning the lottery than you do winning Daytona.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And Daytona has not been kind to me.
No, it hasn't, because shoot, when we started this series, you got wrecked across the finish line.
Yeah,
So,
that would have been my second Daytona win and on iRacing, and um, yeah, got robbed of it. I mean, technically, iRacing gave it to me, but
yeah, yeah.
you
In
know,
technicality, where it puts the center of the car as far as the scoring dot or whatever on the models, it gave it to you. But physically,
yeah,
after post race review, I'll have to see if I can grab a picture and throw it in here in post edit. But it was by just a hair.
oh, inches, yeah. But that was an awesome season opener, and we had actually a really good season opener for both series this season. Um, the truck series had a few cautions in it. I don't remember the exact number, but
That had a bit of drama going into the stage break. Actually,
yeah,
the
yeah,
stage break was, I think, also 20 laps, and it turns out those trucks only go 20 laps on fuel. I had
actually,
both of my teammates run out of gas under the pace or the caution lap going to the pit road.
yeah. I think actually they only go like 17 or 18 because we had that caution at like, what was it, lap five or something.
That's right, we did have that early
Oh,
caution.
yeah.
All I
So
know is
yeah,
I didn't pit that first time, and I was mighty regretting it. Come about lap 18, I'm sitting there like, I need to half throttle this thing and hope that everybody else behind me doesn't run me over.
right. Yeah, no, you know, that's the first and last time that I listened to certain somebody, Senzi. I'm gonna call you out on that one. But because he's the one that said, like, I I think he said like lap 18 or something to it. And I was like, well, we're just gonna make it an even 20 for both series. And but yes, that may have been a screw up on my part, but at the same time, my thought process on it is you guys know the number. We even had a caution. It doesn't fall on me at that point.
Everybody's given the same information at the start of the race, so
That's right.
whether you choose to listen to it or act upon it, that is a
exactly. And there are a lot of people where it goes in one ear, not the other. That is for sure.
There's a few I sometimes question if it even made it to the first ear.
Yeah, no kidding. I think they got their headphones on too tight.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's been an interesting season so far. I don't think we've had a repeat winner yet, which has been pretty remarkable.
Yep, we had, I can't remember the team now. I'm going to have to go pull the name up here. We had a repeat team. They went back-to-back in the BRP series, but it was different drivers.
Yeah.
So.
But, yeah, and, I'm 2 for 3, I guess, for top 10s, but it's barely top 10s. I have not had a very good start to the season at all.
I guess when it comes to points racing, though, you want those top 10s.
Yeah, actually, let me pull it up here real quick because I don't even think that. Oh yeah, I did finish 8th. Okay, at Daytona. Yeah, I was thinking it was Vegas that it bit me to smack the wall off of 2. So we went, aside from the stage break at Vegas, we went green to green, green to checker rather, and that one kind of bit me because I anticipated more cautions, and so I burnt my stuff up pretty early, and I think I need to go back to my old tire saving days. That's for sure.
Yeah, you have not been kind to those tires, other than Daytona, where you rode around at the back of the field. That you've definitely just kind of put hammer down and gone for it, I think, more often than not.
Yeah. Well, Auto Club, I was definitely hammer down. I may or may not have gave somebody the boot. I race people how they race me, and I've had a very tough start to the season. I mean, I guess not that tough, but tough to me considering last season. And I have zero patience anymore already, and we're only 3 races in. So,
so the off season then, or the off week, has come at an opportune time then.
Oh, I wish it was last week because I didn't even want to race last week. The only reason I did was because it was my favorite track.
Shoot, I wish it was an off week last week too because I messed that one up entirely. But we'll get to that when we get there, I suppose.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah, I don't know. It, like I said, I got involved in that first incident on lap 1, and then obviously went to the back. I took full responsibility for that one. But and then I had a really fast car. I don't know. I could go from, whatever it was, 22nd, whatever last place was. Let's see.
I mean, we've had some pretty impressive turnouts for the entire season so far in both series.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm showing 28 for Auto Club last week that we had. And, I went from 28 inside the top 15, I think, within right before that stage break, I believe. Or maybe it was 16th or something. It was right around that area. And
yeah, because you were, I think, couple slots behind me because that California was the first race I ran in the BRP series for the year.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I knew I burnt my stuff up, but at that point it was like, all right, I knew that the caution was going to be coming out, and but then, it just, I don't know. Once you get further up in the field, it is definitely more difficult to pass. That is for sure. But eventually, I made my way back up towards the top 5, and then into the top 5, top 3. And then the caution came out late, and it. I should have pitted. And took fuel, so I could have made it to the end, but I decided against it, I guess, and it was the wrong call. And
yeah, I was right there with you. I was thinking, we've been kind of heavier on the cautions today. We'll probably get one more once this gets a little amped up, and
yeah,
it's
always when you think we're gonna have another one. That's when we don't.
Nope.
That's what happened at Daytona too.
Just when you think it's all going to come down, doesn't happen. And then when you don't want it to be a caution, the caution's going to come on out, and it's going to be for the stupidest reason.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yes, I am still salty about Bristol.
You and me both, man. I only made it like 20 laps in that race.
That's right. You got nuked.
I got nuked by your teammate because he bounced off the wall. Now, granted, I did put myself in that position because it is really tight off of 4.
It is tight off of 4 there, yes.
And he had the high side, and I had the low side. And, I mean, I was blowing through the field there. But, yeah, ran out of real estate on that one. I'm pretty sure even if he wouldn't have bounced off the wall, I probably wouldn't have gotten into him because I was pushing up hard. But, yeah, no, I mean, that's just Bristol. And then, of course, it's once we get that caution out of the way, it goes green for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm stuck. I think I was stuck 2 laps down or 3 laps down, whatever it was, for the entire race, if not the majority of it.
Just about probably until the end when we started getting that well, no, we ran green for a while there at the end because that's how I tracked down the leader and just flat out passed him being faster.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one that you almost won, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, if we had gone, I think the caution came out, I want to say, with 3 to go. 2 or 3 to go because we went to overtime.
Yep.
And I had a ample lead on what eventually became second.
Yep, that's right.
So,
and then you got net coated.
Yeah. Not much you can do about that, though. I mean, it's short track racing. It's a restart. Everybody's trying to jostle for the same position, so not much you can do.
No, not really.
And in all honesty, it's like, well, I wasn't really up front all day specifically. I just ended up there by happenstance. I was probably looking at maybe stealing a top 5 for most of that day. So, I mean, I'm happy with walking away. I think it was 3rd because I think at the end of that there was only 3 of us on the lead lap. After, who was it that ran out of fuel on the last restart? Because there's 4 of us on the lead lap at the restart, and one of them runs out taking the green flag.
Roswell,
yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah.
So at the end of it, it's like the points hit really wasn't that bad. It's just the sting of not getting that win.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I wrecked my teammate for some playoff points, and but then once I got to the back, there was no going forward for me. I knew that I was holding on for dear life, anyways. But no, that wasn't a very good race. Let me pull up last season's schedule here because I don't remember what the other 2 were.
Let's see. So round 1 was Gateway, Dega, and Bristol.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dega, as I pull it up here.
Dega, I was in a position to actually have a good race. And
Yeah,
this is where you, me, and everybody else got wrecked as my teammate goes and wins the race.
yeah. Well, that all started with me twice. I do remember that race now because that was the race that me, Hanrada, and Clark, the other teammate at the time, um, we kind of ran away with that race.
Oh, it was your
And,
race to lose.
yeah, and we definitely lost it. We had I think it was a 10-second lead or something after the last pit stop.
Oh, it was
Or
obnoxious. It was
no, sorry, it was up until the last pit stop because we weren't going to make it on fuel. We
right.
were going to be like a couple laps short or something, and so we were going to have to come to pit again. And we knew that the people behind us, we were just gapping them, just the three of us. And I was pushing Hanrada, and then Clark was behind me because he had a little bit of damage on the front. And yeah, we were just lined up nose to tail. And then on the back stretch there, it ended up hooking Hanrada. The lap that we were going into the pits, because I was trying to open up that gap even more, because I didn't know, there's always that uncertainty, when you jump into the pits, whether a caution's going to come out and it's going to bite you, or if they're running slower, so they might be able to save that fuel. They've got the big pack,
Right.
So, but like I said though, there was no chance in hell that we were going to make it at all, and so yep, I ended up hooking him, and then we ended up going to the back, and yeah, and then on the restart, because I think it was a green white checker, wasn't it? Or it came down to
yeah, it was. If it wasn't a green white checkered, it was a short sprint to the end on that one.
yeah. So but yeah, it's I remember taking it 3 wide on somebody, right through the middle, and then somebody, I don't know, I remember if it was you or if it was somebody else. Somebody got hooked, and then they took me out, and it was just calamity.
I can't
going
remember
into
if I
that
got
race.
hooked at the start of that or if somebody got hooked into me and then I hooked into you. It was one of those things. It was everybody's pushing towards the end. It was the last lap. It was on the back straightaway entering 3. And, all bets are off at that point. I remember I got disconnected from Brandon, my teammate.
Yep.
Because he ended up somehow in the middle. I got pushed up high, and the gap got filled right away. So I'm just like, well, at this point, I'm pushing whoever's in front of me, and we're going.
Yep.
And next thing I know, I'm getting spun. So, and that's the thing. I can't remember if I got hit by somebody in the middle lane spinning, or if I got hooked and then caused the whole thing. But I was part of the early portion of that wreck.
Yep. Yeah, and then but I ended up finishing 10th still. Honestly, like looking back at it, yeah, it was a very I can't even say it was a bad round, because I finished in the top 10 for all 3
Well,
races.
From the Kyle Busch perspective here, you weren't finishing like second and third and first all the time in that round.
Right.
You were finishing like 9th and 8th and 10th, I think, is what it worked out to be.
Yeah. And then at Bristol, at Bristol, at the end of it, there was 2 cars on the lead lap. You were the first car a lap down, and then it was just 2 on back. And I finished 8th, but I was 6 laps down. So yeah, no, I never recovered from that at all. I
ended up a lap down just because, like, after I spun that, I've, in anger, put my foot down and re-spin myself out trying to leave the apron.
Yeah.
And then try not to, put my car into the pit road barrier there right in front of me. So had to take it carefully and just, all right, well, don't lose any more positions than you have to.
Right. Yeah. And then, the second round for that, that was so much better. I finished third, first, and second. Um, and
Yes,
Kentucky,
second round for me was not so good. It was, I think all three of them turned out to be fuel mileage races, as I recall.
yeah, probably. I think it was. No, um, the first two were. Texas was not,
That's right.
because Texas, that was, yeah.
Texas
We'll get
was, yeah.
we'll get to that one there in a minute, but yeah, no,
Yeah, I didn't finish better
Kentucky.
than, I think, seventh that round. The other two times were, yeah,
Yep,
outside the top 10,
yeah,
which sucked because I had a decent point cushion
mm-hmm,
going into it. And I'm like, all right, well, if I can at least points my way in. Texas, I felt pretty confident about having a good shot at. And Miami, all bets are off. That's a track I know that I could do well at. And I don't have the results at Miami to prove that either. But
yeah.
for
No, I think you
unfortunate
got caught
reasons.
up in something.
Yeah,
I think you got
I
on that.
got, I was on pit road. I think I was actually in I was either in third or in fourth, and I was pitting with the person in third or in fourth. So it's top, positions 3 and 4 all pitted together under green,
Oh yeah.
and I, good pit stop, pull out, get on the access road. Totally don't notice that there's somebody that's taken the road course as opposed to the access road. Completely missed that they were on the road course instead of the access road. They get to that hard left turn, and they just come barreling through the grass and pretty much T-bone me and end my night right there.
Yep. Yeah, we went the Baja route.
Yep.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, because that night, it's like I'd been floating around the top 5 for first half of that race. Like I
Hmm.
was just
Yeah.
kind of, I was biding my time. I'm like, all right, got to go in for, fuel, tires. We got an extra set of tires just in case we get a late race caution. You know, I might not win this thing, but I'm sure as hell gonna try.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I did not expect to dominate that race as much as I did. Um I just kind of got into my own little rhythm there, and I had Smallwood and Knopfel, both, the other two contenders that were there. Uh, Hanrada being the fourth, but he had some real life issues. But uh, yeah, no, it's I had him hounding me a little bit, but then you know, just went back to the beginning of that season. Just saving tires, not overdriving it, just taking what the truck would give me, and yeah, I don't know. It was a really exciting. It was a very boring race until the end when the caution flew.
Yep.
Um, and that's when the hands were getting sweaty. The nerves were skyrocketing. And um, I I put myself in some situations where I probably shouldn't have, judging that I was going for a championship, but luckily it all worked out. Um, but that was a very fun race for sure. Um, I know that um, the gap between me and second was under a tenth. I mean, it was really close, and then third, was a tenth and a half behind us. So, um, that late race caution um, definitely kept me on my toes for sure. But
Added a little excitement to the viewers.
oh yeah, for sure, and the broadcast team.
Yep.
But no, it's that was pretty fun though. And I think that um, I knew that going into this season, um, that the more people that we got, we weren't going to have a lot of the regulars that we had last season. A few of them moved on, um, and um, so it's the first 5 races, I would say, is it's gonna be getting used to who you're racing, how they race, so on and so forth, and um, I think that's what I'm kind of struggling with the most right now. But
Yeah, relearning that, that core group of drivers on track that you're around on the regular with,
yeah,
knowing what are they going to do in these situations, how are they going to react if something happens. Are
yeah,
they more likely to slam on the brakes when they see smoke ahead, or are they just going to, try to power through it, or try to evasive maneuvers as opposed to just coming to a stop?
yeah, yeah, and you know, I don't know the exact cause for it, but I know that iRacing has been very, very um, I hate using the word laggy on iRacing, but laggy this season.
It's
Um,
been spotty, I would say.
yeah,
Yeah, the
but
last few weeks we've definitely seen more latency issues than normal.
yeah, and even from myself, and you know, I never blink, and um, I think it was Vegas maybe where it just, I guess I was, blinking pretty much the second half of the race, and
You were blinking enough to get a warning.
yeah, but
We've handed out a few of those warnings this season already,
hmm
which we
yeah,
didn't have to do that last season. We already had, you know, one-off instances, I think, that we just kind of addressed after the fact, but it wasn't like an in-race significant problem. We're just like, hey, fix it.
yeah,
Hey, Henrada, go just buy a cord already.
get off McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Get off McDonald's.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, I know that, YouTube and stuff, and I still blame it on that because it seems like ever since then, um, that was the night of our Vegas race.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, whatever knocked out YouTube, it's really thrown a wrench at iRacing, I think.
yeah, or at each individual. I don't know. It's um, I know that the majority of the issue was in the East Coast, and I'm on Central. We're both on Central Time, but
Yeah, but our server, I do believe, is based out in the East Coast. I believe it's the Boston server that's we run off of most of the time.
damn Boston, let me tell you.
Well, I think
But
it's that or San Francisco. So I mean, pick your poison.
neither. Lose lose situation there. No, but yeah, no. I know that we've made the most of it. We've had some troublemakers um, in the series, both series so far, and it's just trying to get them used to how we do things here. It's just, it's more so meant to um, just be fun, and not so um, uptight and serious. And I think that's like the big one of the biggest struggles so far is getting those people to just kind of relax a little bit, and not force stuff so early, and
Yeah, trying to strike that balance between, hey, this is a fun league that you want to, we want you to want to show up to let off steam as far as from the day. Just don't have to leave the rest of the, you can leave the rest of the world out behind you. Just have an hour or two of fun.
obviously we want to be strict with the rules and stuff, but if there's a gray area, you know, we might let that person slide, or whatever, or use them as an example, um, like we had to uh, 2 weeks ago, Vegas, I think it was.
Yeah, the
the truck race?
Yeah, so that was the because that was actually the first week as well that we had changed from an EOL penalty for caution involvement to just a drive down pit road.
Yeah.
And we had made that explicitly clear in communications prior to the race that, hey, if you're involved in this, you know, we don't have anybody necessarily policing this all the time, so just kind of honor system. You go down you go down pit road, and we'll review it afterwards. So it's probably to your best interest to, if you think you were involved in it, just go down pit road, take the position hit rather than take the last place position.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, you know, after our little week break that we get this week, probably going to go in and revise it a little bit more. But I think what we might do is, you know, leave it to not, you know, initial contact with anybody, but loss of control. I think should be a little bit more fair, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think loss of control is the direction we definitely want to go, because there's times where what was it? I think even at the at Vegas and maybe even at California, that, you know, wreck happened in front of me. I've pretty much gotten through it, haven't spun out yet, maintained control of the truck, then get tagged at the end, and still don't really crash per se, but definitely takes damage and, you know, definitely not pointed in the same direction I started going in originally.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
we definitely want to clean up the ambiguous nature of it, how it stands right now.
no, for sure. You know, and like I said, you know, we obviously, you know, we want to just make it a fun place. You know, we were pretty lenient last season with a lot of the rules, just because we only had a small group, and it was really easy to you know, maintain. And but now, you know, I mean, we're pushing almost 30 cars and trucks for both series, you know, every week, and we've got to be a little bit more strict on them now, and consistent.
Yep.
And I need to be better about being race control when I say I'm going to. You know, I'm a racer at heart, man.
Oh man!
It's so difficult once I start seeing
So
vehicles.
you're ready to open that can of worms now, huh?
Oh, I guess. It's bound to happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the hot topic of the week. So,
Yeah.
California in the trucks.
Yeah. So I had every intention on being race control that race, and then I got caught up in putting my new setup together, and it took a little bit longer than anticipated, and I think I came in about half the race was already done, and which is crazy because I don't think I was that late coming into it.
No, we had a clean first stage. So I mean, it's like, yeah, and I knew you were building your desk, so I figured, oh, well, I'm not really worried about it. Once I realized you weren't there at the, you know, when qualifying got done, like, I'll just grab admin tools because I have it from the Sim Race apps. I'll put it over there. That's what I use to, you know, admin the BRP series. It's simple enough. Point, click. You know, cool. We're good to go. So, you know, gave the much abbreviated version of your speech at the beginning of the thing. I just pulled up Discord. This is what we got. Boom, 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 boom. Any questions? Cool. All right, let's go. Take the green flag, run the 15 laps or whatever it was to the stage, and click the caution button. You know, everything's going nice and smooth. And then after the stage break, we had a caution. I want to say about 3 or 4 laps after the stage break. It wasn't very long after we got going again from the stage break. And one of the cars that was involved in the crash blew its engine and was trying to limp it the 3.25 or the 3.5 or sorry, the 3/4 of a lap to pit road, and they're like middle of the pack. So half the field right now is stuck behind this guy, trying to not pass him. And of course, they haven't spoken up. Nobody's said who it is, so well, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, there's me and half the field stuck behind this guy, and he eventually, just gets to the point where it's so slow we just have to keep going, or else the pace car is going to pass us. And like, all right, well, we'll deal with the black flags. Except the problem is you've got now 12 guys all crankily yelling over the radio, "Hey, clear my black flag! Clear my black flag!" And well, I'm sitting here driving, trying to keep track of who the numbers are, and I've got my panel up over here, so I'm ticking the numbers or whatever. And what I don't realize is that while I'm ticking some of these numbers, I have remove selected under the quick links as opposed to the clear black flags. So ended up, I think, removing about 5 guys from the lobby in the process of trying to clear the crying fest of black flags there on pit road.
Yeah, and
trying to drive.
And then right after that, I show up.
Yeah, right as everything's getting good. This is when Overstreet says, "Hey, I should go check in on that race," and pops in, and I'm like, "God, where have you been?" Because at that point, I was like, half of me was saying, "Hey, I should sit on pit road and just get this sorted out," even though I was running. That was my first stage points of the season. I got, I think. No, actually, it wasn't, because. Let me back that up, actually. Hold on a second. Before we get to that, when we got to the stage break, we had a caution, I think, the lap before the stage break. And so it was the whole rigmarole of explaining points are allotted at the end of lap 15. Do with it as you wish. So half the field decides to pit, half the field decides to not pit. Then the half that didn't pit, because we're running on fumes, all decide to pit with 2 to go, which is a 40-second stop and hold once it's green flag.
Yep.
So that threw a whole nice little monkey wrench into the beginning of all this. So I didn't end up getting the stage points I thought I did. I think I got 12th out of that. But, all right, I'm running up front. I think, probably once those guys had all pit, I think I was probably sitting about 6th place. So I'm pitting from a decent position, and I'm trying to sort all this out. And I'm like, I should have just sat on pit road and just taken my time and clicked through it. Just gave myself this position penalty, essentially, to fix it. But yeah, I'm sitting here trying to drive. I'm like, oh, I've got this button thing. It'll be fine. I didn't realize I had this damn remove people button also checked with the black flags option.
Yeah.
So yeah, not much you can do about that once you done fucked it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Ultimately, we're just gonna end up dropping that race just because, it was so chaotic, and that's okay. We've got.
Oh, but I like California, unfortunately.
You and me both, and it's probably a good thing I was, putting my desk together. Otherwise, I probably would have ran as much as I didn't want to. But
yeah, but at least there would have been 2 of us floundering in these 12 black flags we had to clear.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
this is why we have that rule in place, and this is why we're enforcing it. That if you are disabled, i.e. blown engine, out of fuel, can't drive because your wheel fell off or something like that, if you can't get back to pit road under your own power, you are to tow as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Especially if you're holding up half the field.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in, let's say, turn 3 and you're at the back of the field holding nobody up and you want to coast to pit road, I'll probably turn a blind eye when I go look at things because you didn't ruin anybody's race in the process.
Right.
But if you're holding up half the field, no. Unfortunately, got to tow. At minimum, if you can't keep pace, you got to request that EOL.
Right. Other than that, though, it's been, like I said, it's been very interesting, to say the least. There's been drama, chaos, however you want to look at it, in almost every race. I think with the exception of um, the Vegas race for the BRP series. That was it was fun to watch, but it was also a snooze fest. But just because it did go, after that stage break, it just went green the entire way.
Yeah, it was more or less. I mean, to their credit, I have to say, just like the real world, turned into a follow the leader snooze fest.
Yeah. Who could save tires the best?
Yep.
And I'm starting to find out that I'm not that great at saving tires.
You're not that guy this year.
Yeah, not so much.
At least
Either
not
that or
yet.
I just haven't had the patience for it.
I suppose it could
But
be a bit of both.
yeah, but I'm really looking forward to the Phoenix coming up next week.
I believe it's Phoenix for both series, correct?
Yes. And again, that's going to be another one of those ones. It's going to be difficult not to run it for the truck series. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
We probably should do predictions.
Ooh, yeah.
So, predictions. Let's go for overall season first. How about we'll start there. So for the BRP series, after the first 3 weeks, if you had to put your money on somebody, who would it be?
To win the championship?
You could say even just make the playoffs that doesn't already have a win. How about? I mean, if you want to put money on a whole championship, say, all right, this is the person that I think is going to win the championship, or at least be in the championship for.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's either going to come down to Clark or Robert. These two guys, All-American Motorsports, I believe, Derek and Samuel. They're kind of spoiling the top of the board there, but I think one of them is going to get it for the BRP series, and then
I could see both, if not all three of their cars make it.
Yeah, I don't know offhand who the third is. It Nick?
I can pull the team list here. BRP teams, All American. Yeah, that is. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to retract that statement. I don't know if the 48's going to make it. Only just because of the connection issues.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But and then the truck series, I've got to go with Senzi,
hands down. Senzi is the wolf in a sheep's costume, I think, in that series.
Yeah, and he's had some bad luck this season, but it's going to turn around. And when it does, it's going to be brutal for everybody else.
Yeah, middle of the season, I think, is really where he's going to take off. Once we hit, I'm going to say, if it doesn't happen before the All-Star race, he's going to go on a 3-4 race win streak after the All-Star race. Because you've got Charlotte, the Milwaukee Mile, Martinsville, Michigan, Gateway, Iowa, before going to Watkins Glen.
Yep.
I mean, there's a stretch of races right there that he could easily, if he hasn't had a win before the All-Star race, you sure as heck are not going to want to miss putting money on him those weeks.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Those are my picks.
I'd say pretty solid picks. Just to switch things up, just for the sake of being different here, let me go look at the last race's results. I think. Oh, there's no results there because we didn't run that. We wiped that race, so we got 2 races to go off of here, which really I almost don't count Daytona.
Yeah.
You know, if Brandon Knoffel can keep the pit road problems to a minimum this year, I think he's got a solid chance at it personally. I mean, he ran solid last year, and honestly, his Achilles heel was speeding on pit road. I swear, every race he had at least one speeding on pit road penalty, with the exception of Bristol. And even in Bristol, he might have had one and just got lucky with the timing of it.
Right. Yeah.
So I could see him making a run for it this year, in the Truck Series. As far as the BRP Series, I can't deny that there is that group that is just that much better. Just that, just the nose better than everybody else, I think, from at least the first 3 races. Anybody out of that camp could go on to win it. Honestly, if all 3 of them made it, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So picks for Phoenix then, being that that's going to be kind of our first semi-short track of the season.
Well, obviously I would like to say me in the BRP series, but I don't think it's going to be. Let me pull up the schedule here again because I'm bouncing between, or the standings rather. I'm
going to put my money on Hanrada, I think.
Yeah.
As long as he can keep his nose clean, I think he could do it.
I think Clark will get that first BRP win.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
And then the trucks.
And you're not racing the trucks, correct?
Nope.
All right.
Nope, I am not. The trucks, I think Knopfel's going to get it. Because he was the one last season that was hounding my ass for most of it, so.
Yeah, I think he was pretty much in the catbird seat for that race until there was a speeding penalty.
Yep. Pretty much.
So, I could definitely agree to that. You know what? I'm gonna go with Clark getting the repeat win.
Going back to back?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Clark Jenikin getting the first back-to-back win of the season.
I could see that. That's a pretty solid pick.
Yeah, I guess wish everybody a good Thanksgiving. Safe time with the family or whatever your plans are. If it's a Zoom call with the whoever, or got family coming together, do whatever it is that you're going to do. Enjoy some good meals. Maybe check us out on Facebook if you're not familiar with the league. That's going to be American Sim Motor Racing on Facebook. Otherwise, that is it for me. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, thanks for listening. Have a good holiday week, and everybody stay safe. Be smart about traveling, especially with the whole COVID thing going on. I know it sucks that a lot of states are doing 10 people max. I know that nobody's going to listen to it, but get all fat and sassy with some turkey.
Yeah, please do if you can, because I am tired of sitting at home. I mean, I like the sim racing, don't get me wrong. That's what got me into this, as far as having a wheel and iRacing and all that. But, I'd like to go to the real thing at some point again.
Oh, yeah. I know. We're the same way. We're glad that we went in May of 2019. But yeah, that was the last one,
Yeah.
the Coke 600. So I've been having an itch. We not to get off topic here, but we almost put Iowa this year before it got canceled, and so yeah, it's get this shit going, and I'm ready to get back to some of these tracks for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be, I think, a different experience in 2021 still, just with all this still lingering. But I feel like if everybody can at least do their part to minimize the contact spread that they have between now and February, we can get to a point where vaccines and smart action could allow us to actually go enjoy NASCAR with a beer cooler, because that was the problem. That's the reason I didn't go to the fall races. They told me no beer cooler, and I'm like, well, no beer cooler, that means no NASCAR for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, I understand their decision on it. They didn't want to have that cooler check where you have an extended interaction with another person that they're touching your stuff. So I was like, I get it, but it's not NASCAR if I can't drink my beer.
Yep. And I'm sure as shit not paying $12 for a beer either.
Especially
14
for a watered down beer, absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we get back to that point. If not, then drink our sorrows away or something. I mean, hell.
Yeah, just shoot.
Cabin fever.
Might have to open. Forget about the iRacing League. Maybe we just need to open up a brewery.
Yeah, right.
If this goes on, screw the iRacing. We could do a sim racing themed brewery. We'll get the sim cockpits in the corner, and just say, well, can't go back to NASCAR now, but you know what? If you're really getting that itch, maybe we'll set up some sim racing in a bar.
Ooh, could you imagine hooking a hose to a beer helmet straight from the tap?
Oh man.
Oh, you know how many wrecks there'd be? But you'd be too drunk to give a shit. So
it'd be hilarious.
It'd be freaking
the best part is when you would get two drivers at Daytona. How about, and going for the win, and they collide. And they've been drinking their beer through their helmet system here for the last, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours, trying to see them get out of the cockpits to go after each other. Might be worth paying admission just to watch the after race.
You remember when Cole Custer in the Xfinity Series, I think it was, I don't remember what race he won, but he fell off the car.
I forgot about that. That is exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
So does that mean we got to call it the Cole Custer Victory Lane?
Yeah, the victory celebration.
Yeah. Brought to you by Cole Custer.
Yeah. No, yeah, that'd be hilarious though.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
I guess before here's that pit road incident actually from California that got me all spun around.
Oh yeah.
So we were trying to get reordered into the order we were supposed to be in. Now, of course, it's going to give us.
Oh yeah, between you and
Booth.
Booth.
Yeah, hey, let me see if we can. Yeah, so
yeah,
I'm sitting here like, all right, I'm at the back of the line. I'm good. Nobody behind me. Nobody beside me. 3, 2, bonk. I'm like, shit. And by that point, I'm already past my box because like I was making my cut in and.
Oh God.
Oh.
It's funny too because he stalled it both times.
Oh yeah, he stalled it for sure.
Because I remember him coming over the radio saying, "Really, Patrick, twice?" I just shut up. I didn't say nothing. I don't know what's going on.
It's not like I moved that far.
No, as soon as you started moving, he decided to whip a Yui.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, all right, everything stopped. Calamity stopped.
Now, in your defense, though, the second time he did not have car control.
Oh,
He was-
absolutely not. But I didn't see him coming or whipping it around either.
Oh, that's funny.
He decided to
Yeah.
actually go into his box. I'm like, by that point, I'm just going to go around again. Oh,
Yeah.
it's funny
Alright.
that I completely forgot about that event until I was sitting here just watching this idly in the back, and it's like, oh yeah, there was an incident on pit road that involved me, didn't it? Wasn't there? That was when my
Yeah.
day went from good to bad
Right.
because I'd just gotten involved in that wreck, just barely got kissed, and then I'm trying to get everything resorted before pit road, so that way nobody would get a black flag with entering in the wrong order. Then, boop.
And it doesn't really look like you had a whole lot of damage either.
A minute and a half worth.
Ugh.
Because
Yeah.
if you look, I mean, I didn't before that incident. I didn't really have any damage.
Yeah.
After that incident, the front hood's
Oh,
not
yeah.
so happy.
Yeah, I guess the front right is a bit caved in there.
Yeah, it was not a fan of that incident, but
Yeah.
oh well, still a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure. But all right, guys. Well, it's been fun. It's been real, and again, have a safe holiday week, and we'll catch you next time.
Yep, this has been the ASMR Pit Pass.